Hello everyone, welcome to Crossout Tutorials Episode 2. The last time we talked, you and I covered the basics of the game and did a trial battle, and got our first loot. So, what's next? What is important for your future battles, huh? True success in Crossout is impossible without new vehicle parts. You can get them by fighting in battles, craft your own, or simply buy some off the market. After your first sortie into the wastes, you got some spare parts and scrap metal. Some of those parts can't be installed into your ride, if you like their stats, that is. But you can do a whole lot more by using the game's crafting system. We covered it briefly in the previous episode, now it's time to dig in deeper. There is no separate tab for your vehicle parts, since most of the crafting is done via the Factions tab. In order to build your basic white parts, you can rent a workbench from the engineers. This should satisfy your most basic part needs when you're just starting out. But if you want to make better parts using other colors, you will require both parts and additional resources. Crafting parts of other colors requires you to pay a rent for a more advanced workbench. You can pay for crafting 5, 10, or 15 parts. You don't have to use your rent all at once. Once you have paid your rent, you can use the limit as you see fit. No time limit involved. The price that you will have to pay also depends on the color of the desired parts. Some only can be crafted starting with a certain player level, which is always clearly displayed on the part in question. The actual crafting of every part takes time, depending on the part's rarity. The process can last anywhere from a few seconds to many hours. If you're in a hurry, you can accelerate this process by paying some gold. We will tell you how to get gold and how the in-game marketplace works in the next episode. The parts that are available for crafting differ depending on the faction that you're currently a part of. The list of parts available for crafting can be viewed in the crafting menu without actually joining a faction. But in order to actually use a workbench and craft stuff, you will have to join up with a faction you wish to craft parts from. As we mentioned before, you can only be a member of the engineers until player level 10. But later, you will be able to sign up with the lunatics, nomads, and scavengers. Finally, after reaching level 25, you can become a part of the dangerous Steppenwolves. But you don't need to worry all that much about which faction you should join up with. Yes, faction parts differ greatly, but you can change your faction once a day. So, worst possible scenario is that you will not be able to craft a certain part for 24 hours. That's it. Don't forget that armor and cover elements can be used to improve the structure points of your ride and can only be acquired via factions. Do not underestimate the armor of your ride, or at least its most vital parts. 3 identical cabins, weapons, wheels, and utility equipment pieces can be merged together to get the same part, but with improved stats. For that, you won't even have to use a workbench nor extra resources. So, the entire crafting process is very simple and transparent. You think about what your future ride will look and work like first, find the proper parts from the factions, save up some money, resources and parts, and then you go ahead and build the ride of your dreams. Let me give you a few tips on how to acquire the resources needed for crafting. Look close to the rewards for various in-game missions. Regular PvP battles are aptly named Get Wires or Get Electronics. Copper can be acquired during raid missions, while the uranium in clan wars. The full list of rewards is listed right before you enter that mission. Mission types and rewards will be covered in greater detail in future episodes of Crossout Tutorials. We should say a few words about blueprints. Blueprints themselves are free. You only need the required parts to build a vehicle out of one. Blueprints can also give you some insight and new ideas on how to construct a better ride. You can access the player's blueprints database via the Exhibition tab, where some of the best or just plain unusual player-made designs are stored. You can even test out each and every single one of those rides on the testing grounds for free. Should you like the ride you just tested, you can save the blueprint and build one for yourself, as long as you have the required parts, that is. That's it for today. Well, now you know how to craft, how to spend your loot, and create stuff that you will actually need. But the Crossout tutorials are only just starting. In the next episode, we'll cover how to get some gold and trade on the market. Then we'll learn how to build something more advanced for warfare. Then it's time for the mission types and advanced rewards. Please don't forget that Crossout is still being tested and developed as we speak, so some of the gameplay features are subject to change. Do not hesitate to ask your questions in the comments. The best of these questions will be answered in future videos. Well, it's time for me to hit the road again. Be seeing ya!